What's up? I'm Matt Guff from thehouse.com, and this is Brandon Peace from the house too. How you doing,
sir.
buddy?
Doing great.
Good.
Good day of riding.
Hell yeah. We're at Carver Lake Park. Brandon and Pat have been kind of just like guiding us around, and we're done. We got our feet off, we got our shoes off, and we wanted to talk about these things.
Yeah.
This is the 510 Freerider. We're basically all riding them. You, me, Siddons, and Stank are all riding these shoes. This is one of the most popular shoes within mountain biking right now.
Yep.
What's the story with these things? Why are they so popular?
Yeah, so 510s have actually, they were kind of one of the first companies that made, like a really nice flat-soled shoe specifically for biking.
Right.
The big difference between, like, you look at this and you think, oh, it kind of looks like a skate shoe.
It does. It looks like an early 90s Etnies shoe or something.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
Yep, and so it's got that same kind of look. I think that same kind of fashion at the time kind of transferred to the, same kind of people. So
right.
The difference, though, is that the sole of this shoe compared to a skate shoe is much stiffer.
Super stiff.
Yeah, so whereas, like, put on a DC skate shoe or something, you can feel, like, especially for skateboarding, it's great because you can feel, through the bottom of that shoe, it's pretty soft.
Right.
Whereas this, on a bike, especially if you notice in this shoe, right in this section here, when you try to bend it, it's pretty stiff.
Yep.
So what you want is that stiffness so that as you're riding, pedaling, pushing, landing off jumps, that your foot's not folding over the pedal so much.
Right.
So this helps a lot with that. Also, 510's known for this stealth rubber compound, so it's a really good compound for riding flat pedals. So it's
tacky.
Yeah, it's tacky, but it's also not too soft where it wears out right away.
Got it.
If you look at, like, if you wear like a Vans or DC skate shoe or something, this part of the shoe, after even like 5 rides, will just be all chewed up. Yep, from the pegs on your pedals. So
right. That's actually one thing I noticed right away. Like when I first started riding the frame bootlegger bike, I didn't have these. I was wearing a pair of like Nike Blazers, and I noticed that my foot was sagging a bunch, and the tread was getting really tore up, even though they're skate shoes. And then when I started riding these a little bit more, I was like, the first thing I noticed was how stiff that flat bottom is, and how much more power I felt I was giving right to the pedals and to the cranks.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep, because anytime you have, and that's why if you look at like clipless pedals where you're actually clipping in, and like at a race level, those shoes are really, really stiff.
Yeah.
A lot of them are actually even made of carbon fiber, so they don't flex at all.
Right.
And the purpose of that is any flex is basically absorbing energy and power. So if you take away all that flex, all that power is going directly through the cranks into the rear wheel. So.
Boom. Going faster.
Yeah, exactly. More efficient. And, if you think about even like, like an endurance mountain bike ride, if you figure even over 50 miles, that efficiency difference as opposed to, your foot flexing over that pedal the whole time, or as opposed to riding a stiff pedal, that's a massive savings in energy. So
absolutely. Yeah,
science.
and they're pretty rugged on the bottom. The tread isn't really deep, but like you said, with the stealth rubber, the compound is just a little bit more durable. It's a cup sole, so overall it's gonna be just a little bit stiffer. But there's also double reinforced stitching in those kind of like high wear areas. The toe box doesn't really feel like it has a harsh bumper, but it's definitely a little bit more sturdy in that front section. You can kind of feel that with your toes, but there still is lots of mesh kind of throughout. Instead of like perforated leather, it's actually mesh there.
Yep.
And a decent amount of padding around the collar and on the tongue. How long have you been riding yours?
So the pair I have now, I've had for 2 seasons now.
The same pair for 2 seasons?
Yep, and I've dirt jumped on them, rode mountain bike on them. And I've just worn around for shoes too. And I mean, you can see the bottoms of them you can't even, they look brand new still.
Yeah.
So yeah, 510's a super, super solid company. And one of the things about them too is they're a company that really focuses on this and on specifically making bikes or shoes for biking. Yeah.
Right.
Whereas
they make some good rock climbing shoes too.
They do.
But it's just like they really focus on just doing those.
Yep. And if you look around the mountain bike community, you will see, for example, like if you go out to Oregon or Washington, Bellingham, any of those like really big mountain bike spots. I mean, you go for a ride and go to any bar, 75% of the people are wearing 510s.
It's a cool guy shoe.
Yeah. It's
shoe.
just the mountain bike shoe, and they've just been, they've been so solid for everybody. Danny McCaskill has a signature version of this shoe, and so they also support mountain biking in a big way. So it's a good partnership.
It's good shoe.
Yeah.
Another great thing about the shoe is the fit. Like we were talking about, like the kind of toe boxes. They seem to be just a touch wider than an average shoe. A skate shoe, a casual shoe, just a little bit wider, which is nice for my shape of foot, and like you said, yours too. But it almost felt like it's maybe for my foot a quarter size small, maybe a little less than a quarter size small. It feels snug, and maybe that's their intention. You don't want a shoe that's like kind of loose and floppy on your foot.
You don't want the front of your foot sliding around. The other thing is I can see that these are really new. So this shoe is actually going to break in and stretch, and this will fit to your foot much better after about another 50 miles of riding. So yeah, it'll, and again, the construction of this shoe is super solid, but even if you look in there, I mean, I can still flex that. Like I say, once you wear it for another 40, 50 miles, it'll form to your foot really nicely.
Well, I'll be doing that after this interview.
I'm sure,
Go and put 50
later
on
today.
Here. Awesome. Brandon, man, thanks for walking us through.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment or question. Let us know what you think of the 510 Freerider mountain bike shoes. Subscribe to the channel there. Check out more vids there, and hopefully we'll see you guys around. Peace.